Box Office Buddies. You know the drill. Every week I review a new movie with a different buddy. This week it is Camilia.
Hi, I'm the buddy.
She is writing a thesis, taking a neuroscientific approach on the study of fear, right?
She is.
Yes, so why not do a horror together? Halloween. Your classic slasher. I think Halloween was one of the first slashers, really, that there were a few before, but in terms of the genre as such, it's one of the forerunners.
Classic horror.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As someone who studies fear and enjoys it, what did you think of the movie?
Well, it was so similar to the first one. They kept some of the same shots. They kept the same actors and actresses, which I love.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
She's back, and this time she's terrified. She's super paranoid. She actually really embodied that well.
Yeah, I bought her in that role for sure.
Broke my heart. She started crying. I was like, oh, don't do that. But you get it. It just upset me that her family didn't get it. They just, when her granddaughter...
They think she's paranoid and crazy. Yeah.
Her granddaughter told her to move on and get over it. If my granddaughter said that to me, I'd be like, you need to leave. That's enough.
Mm. Yeah, so you have Jamie Lee Curtis. You said, you mentioned that some of the actors are back. Similar to the first one with the shots and everything.
It wasn't
the
scary.
Score.
It wasn't what I wanted.
Right,
it didn't get into my head. The way the first one did with all those really amateur shots that made you feel a little you felt paranoid and you're like, wow, this is kind of voyeuristic in the worst way.
I don't know. You told me on the drive here you kept seeing things in your rearview mirror.
That's a me problem. They didn't do that to me. Okay?
Oh, you've had that issue.
No.
Previously.
I mean, every horror movie I watch, I'm for sure there's someone in my back seat. That started with Zombieland. It's rule
Zombieland?
number 2. Yeah, rule number 2. Always check the back seat before getting in the front seat.
Okay.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's a rule. So.
That's a good movie.
Sure is.
Yeah, so, no, you're right. I'm not personally a big fan of horror anyway, just because, I don't know, it doesn't get to me. I don't find horror scary.
Because you die first, and you know it.
This is the problem with horror. They're all so dumb all the time.
Okay, well, Michael Myers was just slow. I'm looking at him, and I'm literally prerequisites to beating this guy is cardio. Because he's just walking through the whole movie. And, everyone's freaking out and screaming. And he only catches... The ones he catches, it's they didn't see him there. They're freaking out. They fell while they were running. But he never runs after someone.
He never runs after someone, but, I don't know. A lot of times I feel like they put themselves in terrible situations.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but it's just, you have to, fight or flight. He's 8 foot tall. He's 7 foot tall. You can't beat him, Take your chances running.
Huh.
I'd run. I just think it's ridiculous that she stayed in the same town for 40 years, okay? When he does get out, 5 miles away from where you are, by the way, you should be in Mexico. If he wants to kill you, he can come to Mexico, okay? You shouldn't stay in the same city waiting. That kid... Mm-hmm. What was up with that kid, that comic relief kid?
The black kid?
Yeah, the black kid.
He was my favorite part of the movie.
Okay, when you see someone that you really care about get murderized, your first words aren't, oh shit. Your first words are, ah, and you just run. That is the appropriate reaction, especially when you're 6.
I thought he was just there to make the movie funny, although I feel the whole thing was kind of funny in a way.
Yeah, there was a lot of comic relief.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And that can be explained by the fact that this was written and directed by David Gordon Green, who also directed Pineapple Express.
Yeah, I saw that in the conversations with the cops. I'm why are you talking about sandwiches? That was so Pineapple Express of them.
Yeah, so he wrote, and then it was co-written by Danny McBride, so... I mean, you can understand why there'd be some humor in there.
Yeah, one thing I found interesting is that he's completely, out of it, tuned out. basically a shell of a person standing in a asylum. But then he just like, after 40 years of being dormant, he just finds his drive. Like, that's his passion, you know?
The mask woke him up, man.
It wasn't even the mask, you know? Like, the mask was a bad idea from the start, you know? Like, it was calling to him and all the others were freaking out. I get it. Like,
that was maybe my favorite scene of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because
the cinematography was great.
It was well
amazing.
shot, and this is the first scene of the movie, by the way, and it's well shot, and it introduces a lot of mystery and intrigue, and then I'm like, I like where this is going, and then it didn't really go in that direction, which I found a bit disappointing. Like, it felt a bit, you know, like Hannibal Lecter-like.
Yeah.
You know? But I think in the movie, especially in that first scene, they're trying to establish that there isn't really a person, right? Which...
Well, there isn't. Like,
exactly.
They started the movie by saying, like, he's just a guy.
I wish they had done more with that, but anyway.
Yeah. Like, he's just a person, but he's completely dehumanized.
Mm. I thought overall the movie was entertaining. Did you like the movie? Would you recommend it?
I did. I liked the movie, but only because I've seen the original.
Okay.
And if I hadn't, I wouldn't.
Okay, so...
I would say everyone who likes the first one, watch the second one.
Yeah, I think it's a bit better than a lot of the slashers that they put out there. But again, not my style, so I can't say this was amazing for me personally. And you're saying that it was alright in terms of like a Halloween fan.
Like, it's not gonna haunt me for the rest of the week.
Right. Would you have wanted it to?
No.
Right.
That would have just ruined my week. You know, I got things to do.
Well, if we were to rate this thing, scale of Marvel Matrix, Marvel's the worst! Matrix is awesome. Yeah, so on that scale, Marvel and Matrix, where would you put this?
I would put this with like the first Halloween, but also movie, like scary movie.
Okay.
Because I feel like it was a love child.
Okay.
Lots of cliches.
Yeah, for sure.
But still scary enough to be considered faithful to the first.
But are we talking scary movie or scary movie 4? You know, like.
Scary movie.
Okay.
The one, it still has some
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Towards the end there, I don't know what they were doing. I don't think they knew what they were. No, I'm just kidding. Good job, guys.
A few points I was watching, and I felt like this is kind of like a Jeepers Creepers, you know?
I did get that.
If you like this kind of movie, check it out. If not, probably not your thing. Pretty violent, so not for the kids, you know? Yeah, but thanks for checking it out with me.
Yeah.
Glad you had a good time, and check out her Instagram, Batcakes, and she also has an entertainment YouTube channel.
It's not up yet, but it'll be up eventually.
Yeah.
And when it is, I'll give him the name of it, and he'll put it in the description below.
Look out for that. And yeah, good times with Camilia.
Thanks. That's great.
So yeah, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications, and share the video. Make sure that everyone knows whether...
Just share it. Make sure everyone knows. That's enough, actually. I think that got the point across.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone knows.
Okay. There you go.
Make sure of it.
Make sure of it, yeah. So, yeah, we'll be seeing you soon. Take care.
Halloween's next week, though, so...
It is. Get ready. Maybe we'll see a few more people wearing that mask.
Too soon. It's like, movie ended like half an hour ago, dude. That's much.